Greetings. How can I be of aid?
Alright, so I wanted to walk through how we can optimize our damage to make sure that each spell that we cast or ability we press maximizes the output of that. That is often making sure that we link the skill with the weapon set and then feeding it into our passive tree properly. Note that this is not caster specific. This can work on all classes. So if you have a warrior and you want to make sure that your rolling slam, I believe it is, always gets done with a two-hander, you can do that, and that's how you do it. So let's take a look at how to implement this and get it set up so our character is slaying with maximum force. First, you got your two weapons. So I've got some weapons here. I've got a generic yellow unique or rare wand. I've got a rare focus, and I've got a unique lightning staff. So as I flip between the two weapons, you will notice that my damage goes up and down. If you don't have this set, you might be micromanaging this in the field by casting a lightning spell or doing something to kind of trigger the weapon swap. But what we want to do is free up those cycles to make sure that you can bob and weave while doing the most damage optimally. So let's take a look at how to do that. So in your skill menu, you click this little caret off to the right, and then what you do is you scroll down towards the bottom, and towards the bottom you will see that there's used with weapon set 1 or 2. Now this is where you can make that decision. So if in this case I want my flame wall to be cast with my weapon set 1 because it has the generic spell damage, I will uncheck the second one. That means that it will no longer be cast with that second one, and when I cast the flame wall, it will flip to that weapon set and then use that ability. Now you're gonna want to go and do this through all of your spells. So I've make sure my flame and my frost are coming out of weapon set 1 as they are my generic wand, but I make sure to do the other way with my lightning, and you'll see the indicator to the left of what either your weapon set is currently at or what it is desired to select. So in this case, my lightning orb of storms comes out of my weapon set 2. So when I'm out in the field, it's casting and flipping between those two automatically. Now lastly, you can really continue to take this one notch further by going to your passive tree, and at some point you'll get a quest that will give you extra points. You can use this to kind of go get maybe a box of points for something specific. So if you've got like a lightning ability or a lightning path that you want to kind of feed into, or maybe a shield path for your Titan or whatever, you can continue to maximize this. So as you can see, I flip between the two weapon sets using my keyboard shortcut. It now is highlighting, and you can see it invoking that path. So when I cast my lightning spells, I am now getting more damage. Again, this means that all of your skills, you want to do this too, so that way, again, you don't have to micromanage them; they just work. The next tip I wanted to talk about is the instance manager. It is useful when you're in a party if you need to join the same region as them, or if you need to do some farming and you want to quickly reset a zone. So how it works is when you click your waypoint, it will bring up the screen, and then when you click on a waypoint, click with your holding control, you click, you will bring up this instance manager. What you want to do is click new, and then you will then be teleported to that waypoint in a new instance. Now, how this is useful is you can kind of run through your instance. You can do your kind of standard farming. In this case, I'm going to run to a boss. I'm going to go kill my boss. Alright, we are at my boss. Okay, we've killed our boss. I now teleport to town, so I make a portal. We go back to our waypoint. We control click again, click new, and we're back into a new instance. So this allows us to quickly reset do some farming of a specific zone or an instance. It only works where there is a waypoint, so use the instance manager to reset, get to your waypoints, and then do some farming. Alright, now that we've got our farming mechanism and we can kind of farm things on repeat, let's talk about how to speed up the process of identifying. Now, if you don't have our hooded friend, no problem. So what you can do is you can open up your inventory. Hopefully you've got some scrolls of wisdom. What you can do is actually click it with your right mouse button, hold shift, and then keep clicking. This will allow you to not have to open one, use it, do another one. Just saves you some clicks. To expand on this, when you're working with vendors, you can use ctrl to reduce the need to drop and drag. This also works with skills, however it does not work with support gems.
Yeah, shouldn't we, learn by dodging balls that are thrown at us, or...?
Yes, Justin. We should practice using balls, but we're playing hardcore here.
That's what this sack of wrenches is for. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
What?
Alright, so this tip is kind of a combat-based tip, kind of a strategy tip. You want to think about your positioning while you're getting into combat with bosses and to avoid taking damage. So what that means is Miller, he has a straight kind of line attack, and if I'm standing really far away, he has the ability to kind of update his tracking on you, and that means that there's a bigger radius to the circle that you have to cover if you're standing far away. So we can use that information, one that the bosses track, very strategically. So if you're nice and close, you can just dodge right past him, and that basically opens you up to really a whole safer kind of mechanic, right? So we're just gonna dodge past it rather than dodge to the side. If you dodge to the side, let's see if we can get him to do it again. Kill some buddies here. So if we dodge to the side, that seems okay, but again, if he continues to track you at all, you have the higher potential to be clipped by it. You see people talking about this all the time, where they're like, "Oh, I dodged it." Well, really, you probably got clipped by it because they're updating where you're at and they're trying to position and hit you. So if you just dodge past him, look how much further away I am from that ability. So we'll continue to beat down some Miller here. One last thing to think about is positioning. So as he spawns these ads, the last place I want to be is up against a wall, right? Like, there's so much less area that I have to cover. So if I'm fighting something and I get pinned into a wall, I've got all this body block to deal with. Like, I can't get through that. So you really want to make sure that you keep yourself out in the open, so that way if spells come at you, yeah, he's just running to nowhere. No problem. So again, think strategically, kind of keep an eye, keep a plan, have an exit, know what you want to do, don't get positioned, don't get trapped. It's just not a good time. If you get pinned and trapped, you're gonna have a bad time. So can't recommend that enough. Just think about where you're gonna be, think about how and when you want to get your DPS windows in them. One last pro tip. I recommend using your alt to scan vendors for crafting materials. It's a great way to supplement your crafting on your main character while keeping costs low, as the vendor materials are based on your character level. You're going to be looking for quality items, you're going to be looking for items with sockets. These will then be broken down into materials and used for your other crafts. In this clip, you'll see that I find 2 socketed items for under 200 gold. That's a great deal.
What have you learned?